Edit. Please remove your phone. I take over you. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to try to do a bit of a rehash of a program I used to run those days called No Holds Barred. This evening I want to talk about language. There's this new app. It's called Olango, and I want to talk about talk to the innovator, the inventor of the app, Olango. He's a young Nigerian called Ndubuisi. They call him Chief. We call him Chief Ndubuisi NZENWEOFOR of the NZENWEOFOR Group. He's actually the CEO of NZENWEOFOR Group, and so he started this thing like 2 years ago. We've been talking about trying to make Olango, a language app that's so unique that when you go in, anybody, and when I say anybody can have a conversation with that language. So I can say something to you in my language, and Olango translates it to the person at the other end, and the person understands what I'm saying and replies. So that's how it binds everybody together. So that's the kind of app that's been created. So I just want to talk this evening. I'm waiting for him to join me, and once he joins me, we can start the conversation on it. Pretty Rich, yes, good evening. Thank you. I'm seeing all of you. Thank you, Zaborg. Thank you, Jay for Baka. Right. Thank you, Ospinala Daniel. Okay. Ndubuisi NZENWEOFOR has joined, and then all right. Let me invite him on, and then we can. I'm waiting for him to join me, and then we can have the conversation, and you can ask your questions as we go along. All right, he's here with me. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, he's here with me. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. By the way, do I say Instagram audience around the world? This is Chief Ndubuisi NZENWEOFOR, CEO of NZENWEOFOR Group. Nice to have you.
Thank you,
live on my Instagram live. Okay, so let's talk about this Olango that you've put on. It's for 2 years now. We've been working on it. I remember the first time we talked about it was about 2 years ago, or more than.
Yeah, it was more than 2 years ago. It was towards the end of 2018.
All right. So how has the journey been so far? How has it been so far? Oh, we're having network issues over there.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I said, how has the journey been so far?
Yeah, I say it has not been easy, because building an innovative app from scratch, it was not easy, because there is a lot of things we did that were not working. We have to try other ways. We say this is what we want to achieve, but to achieve it, we have to go this way. When we try that way, it's not working. We have to try other ways. At some point, it was quite discouraging, because we're thinking as some point we may not make it. So, but we told us the idea is out there, then we can do it. So we can't just say, oh, we can't do it, then we'll just give up. So we'll come back, look at the blueprint again. What went wrong? Why couldn't we get this right? So we'll go back to the drawing board and change whatever we need to change there. Then finally we could get it out. We thank God for that.
All right. So tell us about Olango itself.
Yeah, Olango is a series of products. The first one, which is Olango Chat, which is on Play Store right now, is an application for our viewers to understand better. Olango is just like WhatsApp, but at the difference that when you are chatting with someone, you don't need to speak his language. He will still be chatting you in the comfort of his original language, and you will be getting all his messages in your own language. And also,
someone's already saying Olango is a wonderful deal.
Yeah.
Somebody's already saying Olango is a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Go on.
So if you also create a group chat, let's assume we have a group chat where you have Yorubas, Igbos, Germans, Spanish people, Chinese. Everybody at their own end will still be using their original language. But at your own end of the group, you'll be seeing all their contribution in the language you selected, whether it's English or Chinese or whatever language you selected. So it makes communication quite easy. So imagine now I have to have a group of people working with me. There are 20 different languages. So I can actually now work and talk with them on Olango platform without any stress of miscommunication, because I will be getting all their contribution in my preferred language. And also, in addition, sir, when you are using our audio and video call, if you have a call on your SIM card, the call on your SIM card doesn't cut your call like we experience on other existing chat applications. We don't have that with Olango. So if you're on a video or an audio call and someone is calling you on your SIM card, you will see the call, but you will not cut your call on the Olango chat. So that is one of the things we needed to make sure of. And also,
so you said about 5 of them?
Sorry?
You said about 5 of them, 5?
Yeah, we
5 different Olango.
Under Olango. We have Olango chat, which is the one that is on Play Store now. We have Olango call. That application makes only audio and video call, but you have audio translation of different languages, including all our indigenous languages like Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Efik, Ibibio, Ishekire, Orobo. All those our local languages does that, and even other African languages as well. So like me and you now were live streaming now. I can see you can see me. But let's assume now, for example, you are of Chinese descent and you are speaking only Chinese. I don't speak any Chinese. So me and you now need to discuss about the topic, and we have viewers all over the world. So I'll be able to hear you from the Chinese you are speaking to English or Igbo or Yoruba or whatever language. And also you'll be able to hear me at your own end in the language that you selected, that you speak. That is Olango call, and Olango call stream. Because Olango call stream is more for business than personal use. So, and we also have Olango Vista. Olango Vista is mostly for physical meetings. So let's assume, for example, we have a lot of engineers coming and going to different parts of the country. Like imagine now I have to do a project, for example, in River State. And the community where I'm to deliver the project, they speak maybe Kalabari. And I don't speak any Kalabari. What do I do?
Kalabari.
I speak Kalabari.
Yeah.
So I simply download the Olango Vista, I select the Kalabari, and the app will be translating from Kalabari to English or Igbo or whatever language I selected on the app that I can speak, basically. So we now also have, yeah?
Go on, I'm listening.
Yeah, you now also have the Olango Mail. Olango Mail, basically, all your incoming mail from across the world come to your inbox translated already in the language you speak. Now, the beauty about Olango Mail is if there is a document attached to that mail, when you download, when you want to open the file, there is an internal scan on the app that will scan the file that you are downloading, and it will translate it. That means when the file finally opens, you have on the one side the original version of the file. On the other side, you have the translated copy. So you can actually know what you're actually looking into. Yeah.
So somebody's asking a question here. Sylvia Williams' blog, she's saying it's a brilliant idea, but you should have many more features aside translate so as to help you beat the market.
No, like I said, thank you for the question. Like I said, the features on the app are not just translation. Like, I pick an example of a situation that we face with most of the existing chat applications. Like, if, for example, now, if we are doing this on Instagram, if I have a call on my SIM card now, our connection will be broken. I have to rejoin the live stream, for example. If, for example, it was a WhatsApp call, if I have an incoming call on my SIM card, the call will be cut. I have to call back the person.
True.
Like, so on Olango application, for example, when you are doing an audio or a video call and you have a incoming call on your SIM card, it doesn't cut your audio or video call, which is something that we decided to do different from the other app. So if people will not come on the app because of the translation, they also have the benefit of the effectiveness of the call. And the quality of the video also is there, because the video call also is very clean and very clear, and the sound also are very clear. So
let me ask you this question. Sorry to cut you. Let me ask you this question. How many people can chat on the Olango video chat?
No, as many people as you can add on the chat. As many people.
Up to 100?
Yeah, you can do more. Like presently, I want 56 people on the app that I'm chatting with.
You have
mostly from my town and other places, yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. You've been on it for 2 years, for about 3 years, thereabout. What really informed the idea of this? What really informed the idea of this? Because I know that the last time I had a chat with you, you're so passionate. And I'm just saying, what really informed the idea of, let me do this? And the fact again that it's a Nigerian doing this, and it's impressive. But what's the catch?
So I would say there were basically two major or three major reasons. But the one that created the passion is the desire to have an impact. Because everybody is born with a talent. Every one of us is born with a talent. And when an avenue is given for that talent to explode, you have to allow it to explode because it will benefit the masses. Now, the second one also, I can say it was anger. Let me.
The second one is what?
Myself. Anger. You know, sir, like I shared with you that day on our chat, I said I was just tired of this idea that they always paint us outside as all Nigerian and fraudster, they are 419, all those things. I was like, what do these people think we are? We have brains in our country. And some of those countries that are exploiting those are our brains. Because when you go to the NSA, for example, there are several Nigerians that work there. When you go to some other developed countries, there are many Nigerians that have brains in those companies. But when now something happened back home, they always say, oh, yes, that's how Nigerians are. Forgetting that Nigerian has the high amazing stuff. Like there's a young guy that did something that looked like a Ferrari. He designed his own car that looked like a Ferrari. Well, I think it was presented in Abuja, I think in Transcorp Hilton. That was a young Nigerian that was behind that innovation. There's another one that developed a generator that may use only water or something. There's a lot of things in our country. We have a lot of riches. The riches of our country is not oil and gas, it's the brain. Sir, you that I'm talking with now, you are one of the examples. Because when you first started the movie industry was quite somewhere. But look at where the movie industry has gone today. They can't talk about movie in the world without counting also Nigeria. But 20 years, 30 years back, it was not the case. So it was also with the urge and the desire to show that there are a lot of good stuff in our country. We know that everything is not the way it's supposed to be. Yes, we accept it. There are a lot of people that did wrong. Yes, we accept it. But not everything in Nigeria is bad. Not every Nigerian don't know what they want to do. There are a lot of young Nigerians that have bright ideas. Sometimes there's no platform. Sometimes there's no resources to develop some of those intelligent and brilliant ideas they have. So what we were trying to do through the app was to say, yes, we can do these things. And also, it will send a message to our fellow youths, not just in Nigeria, but also in Africa, that we as Africans, there are a lot of things we can do. We should not underestimate ourselves because some people are seeing us as we're always bad. Everything about Africa is always bad. Everything about Nigeria is always bad. No, I'm an advocate to say no to that. It's not true. Because when I look at you, I always tell you that you were a role model to me. You have always been a role model to me. And I said, no.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
We have people doing a lot of amazing things in our country. So what do they always look at? The bad ones. And also things to go. Yes, sir.
No, finish up.
Yeah. So the second one also was because we do business almost with a lot of people around the globe. And what we also notice that we always have that language barrier challenges. For example, you go to China, you don't speak Chinese, you have problems. You go to Germany to buy cars to come and sell back in Nigeria, you have challenges. So if you now have a platform where you can actually communicate with all those people around the globe without any problem, that would be an amazing thing. That's the third reason that led us into working on Olango, basically.
Oh, let me ask you this now. We know we're all in the COVID era right now, and we're looking at post-COVID era now.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people have lost their jobs. We don't even know where we're headed with this. Question I'm asking is this platform going to create some kind of job opportunities for people around, particularly young Nigerians?
God bless you for that question. Like when you asked me earlier, what was the motivation behind Olango and the other apps we are bringing out? I said the first motivation was impact, because I believe everybody has a talent, and that talent is for the masses, not for oneself. It's for the masses, not oneself. But when we mistake now the talent we have for oneself, that's when the talent also die along the line. Now, the impact we're talking about was, first of all, the innovation. That was one. And because of it's an innovation, it also creates avenue for job. I'll take an example. We're currently working on an API that will help us have all African indigenous language on the platform. Now, to achieve that, we need to get the service of students in campuses. because all our students.
Before you go further, sorry, before you go further on that, have you patented it so that you don't have people trying to break in and have quacks and all that? Have you patented it?
On your kind advice, we did it, sir. We did it when we started working on the app, sir. We did
Did you get the question?
Come again, sir.
Did you get my question? I said, have you patented your creation in order to avoid intellectual IP issues? In order to avoid intellectual property issues, have you patented Olango so that nobody comes and steals the idea and starts to replicate what you've done?
Yes, sir. Like I said, on your advice, we did that. On your advice, we did that. While we started working on it, when we have our conversations from 2 years back, we did that, sir. We did that.
And you need to keep updating it.
Yeah, we'll be doing that, sir.
Okay, so you were saying about job creation. I'm listening.
For example, to create the API that we're creating, there's no such API actually in the world as of now that does all African languages. Now,
okay,
in the platform, because we need university students because they all speak English and they all the translation in Igala will be with Igala raw accent, not be a white man Igala accent. That the Igala person will be wondering if it's Japanese someone is speaking. So that we need about 5,000 students to do that. About 5,000, meaning that that's about 5,000 university students to achieve that goal. So that's about 5,000.
Must they all be from
students? Yes, sir.
Must they all be from university? Must they all be from the university?
No, sir, because like I said, the idea here has to be with people that can speak their mother tongue and also that are good in English. But we assume that for them to have reached the level of university, at least they have been excelling in English.
Outside university, there are tertiary institutions, colleges of education, polytechnics, and all that. You have to go out brilliant there.
No, sir. We're not limited ourselves just to public university, even private university, even polytechnics, definitely. Because remember that some of the people that will be using the platform will be from specific professions, like doctors, like electrical engineers, petrochemical engineers. So we need people from all those fields to build that up. So after 8 months, we'll have a perfect job out. Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a platform that's going to create jobs for a lot of youngsters. What
about 5,000 in the next 8 months? Within the next 8 months.
In the next
5,000 in the next 8 months. Within the next 8 months. I mean, from next month actually.
Okay, so what about in terms of how do you get to distribution? Are you going to have agents?
Definitely, that is another platform that will create jobs also because we have a lot of freelance marketers on the platform to push out all the products. We'll have ambassadors, we'll have agents, we'll have representatives, and across sectors of the economy. Yeah.
How do you do about quick fix in case you have technical issues? Something goes wrong. Anything because of course these are things are not human, but machines.
Yeah, the IT team on the platform they work 24/7. That means they relay themselves. That means in case of any issues, we'll get the feedback. Once we get the feedback, the issue has been attended to almost immediately.
Okay, let me ask this question: How have you gone with publicity for this?
As the publicity is concerned, we're now strategizing with the council of some of our elder brothers, including yourself, and and my elder sister Chinyere Udoma and some other people. You know, because our aim at the beginning was just to have the app working. Like I can discuss with you in private, and I said our aim was just to get the app working first. Then when we have that done, we'll now start strategizing on how to market the product. But we're always
let me make a suggestion to you that yes, I think from what you've been saying so far, it sounds very brilliant. Are you there?
I'm there.
Are you there?
I'm there, sir.
Are you there?
I'm there.
Okay, it sounds so brilliant.
Yes,
I think you should exploit the embassies. When I say embassies, I'm saying Nigerian embassies right now, spread all over the world, that they can use Olango as their tool for communication.
Okay.
So you better start thinking. You better start thinking in terms of trying to reach out to government and government parastatals and agencies as to how you should use Olango effectively for embassies around the world. Since this is a very unique application,
Yeah.
so if I may suggest that you should start looking in that direction. And also, are you planning on getting them into schools, from primary schools and all the way up? Sorry.
I lost
Are you planning on doing that? I'm saying from primary schools. Are you planning on putting it in schools? Putting Olango in schools?
No, actually, like the live stream of the Olango call, actually, there is a section that is meant for educational purpose and conferences, basically, to be adapted to school. Because, like, when I was saying, I was telling someone that the continent, if they want to come to Nigeria, for example, to share their thoughts, to share their insights, generally, the language barrier is always one of the problems. So if they have to visit any of our schools, for example, to share their thought or idea, the language barrier will always be a problem. So the platform, the live stream platform, like I say, is a professional owned. It's a professional platform. That means you can actually do lecture using the platform. So imagine an Italian painter come to Nigeria, want to do a painting class, for example. I'm just giving an instance. You'll be doing all his lecture in Italian. You'll be writing on the board on Italian, but the student will be seeing all what he's writing on the board actually in English, basically. That is part of Olango Streaming Pro.
Okay, someone is asking a question. So, okay, Sylvia Williams blog again is asking this question. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear? Somebody asking a question. I hope you're seeing it on screen.
Yeah,
I hope you're seeing. You seen her question?
Yeah.
Can't you have a demo of this app for the sake of those who are not tech savvy?
Okay, I will do that. I will do that now. Not just a demo. So like we said earlier, so when
you want to try something now?
Yeah. Let us attend to a request. Let us attend to a request now. So like we said, the first step is to go on Play Store. So when you go on Play Store, you simply type Olango, O-L-A-N-G-O. When you type Olango and you tap start, that is the app. Olango chat is the first one with the green logo, green white, which is our flag color. Yeah. So when you click on the app, you simply download it. So once you download the app, you simply put your phone number. That is the first request that will be made of you from the app. So when you put your phone number and you start, it will now send you a code to that number, the number you enter there, and you now put the code back on the app. When you tap, you put the code back on the app, you now go to next. Next now takes you to where you now type your username and your status, and then you are good to go. So once you have downloaded the app and you are on the app already, how do you now get contact? Obviously, you need people that have downloaded the app to be able to start. So once you have downloaded the app, like this mine, those are people I'm chatting with. So when you download the app, the next thing that appears to you is language, which you can get under chat setting.
So you select any language?
Yeah, you can select any language. So now, the reason why it's not in an alphabetical order, sir, is because we put every language name there in their original spelling. Like, if I take, for example, French in French is Français. So if I scroll down and you see French, you see French there in French, actually, which is Français. That's why, for example, the language I pick here is Deutsch, which is German. So German in German is Deutsch. So that's why it's like that. So when you once you select a language here on chat setting, you are not good to go. So you cannot come on the site. So when you go on the app, this is how it look like. That is how it look like. So at the bottom here, at the corner, is an icon. When you pick the one of message, the icon of message, the corner. So when you click on that blue icon, it will take you now to your contacts. So once it takes you to your contact, you now see all the people on your app that have the app as well. It's just for you to click on anybody and you can start chatting with them.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I ask you again the question.
Now, another thing,
so I ask you,
if I may add,
yeah.
Besides going to contact to add people to chat with, there's another short form. If, for example, I'm physically close to you, like me and you are in the same vicinity, and I've downloaded the app, you just downloaded the app. Now, another way to start chatting with the person, I simply go on the menu bar. There's a barcode here. When I activate it, with this, someone can get my username directly without collecting my number. So once he uses his own QR code and scan, he has my username and he can start chatting with me instantly.
Let me ask you, how do you know our privacy? What are the privacy rules? Now,
first of all, Olango is hosted on one of the safest hosting platform as of now, the NWS. That's what most of the...
Is there an end-to-end encryption?
Yeah, it's end-to-end encryption. So the data are actually safe. But it doesn't mean people will not be trying to hack or to do things on the app. But we have a team that is working on it 24/7 to make sure that all our users' data are protected.
Because that's one of the things that everybody's going to be asking about. How do I get protected if it has an end?
There's an end-to-end.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So how do you intend to get this to all the households, offices, within friends and all that? How do you intend to get this across to everybody?
So we will have to do some social media advertisement. Also, we were on NTA already. We're planning to go on many different platforms and also having people influencing the knowledge of the app, like yourself. As we are talking to people, the things start going out. So be more of the social media marketing, and we'll also be doing from door to door through the agent and representative.
And that will be after COVID.
Yes. But for now, we're more operating on social media platforms like Facebook.
Door to door will have to be after COVID.
Yes, sir. Door to door will be after COVID. It's true. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what next for Olango after this?
No, Olango is an app. That is just the first phase. I'm going to tell you, we're going to have an upgrade in the next 8 months. And that upgrade is going to be mind-blowing. Olango will go beyond just a chat application. It will be an office. Completely. A complete office.
A complete office, mobile office.
Sir. Yes, sir. You have everything.
Okay.
So we didn't want to put everything at the launch phase. So let people use it now.
Have you launched?
Yeah.
Have you launched?
Yeah, it's on Play Store now. People can go and download. And you'll be on
iOS. On Play Store?
Yeah, you'll be on iOS Store by 15th of July.
You'll be on iOS when?
By 15th, 17th of July. Yeah.
By 15th, 17th of July, you'll be on iOS. So that means everybody's going to have it on Android and
iOS.
On iOS. Okay. Yes. Is there any other information you want us to know that we do not know? Any other back end thing we need to know about Olango that we don't know?
I will not spill the beans. We'll just leave it as it is. Once go live. Yes, sir. And I really want to.
I didn't get that because I didn't get what you said now because it stopped a while. So what's there?
No. I would say for now that is the information we're open more about the other apps, which will be made public by then.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, sir.
Well, I've been talking to the Chief Executive Officer of NZENWEOFOR Group. They've come up with this new app called Olango. It's a language app. In the coming weeks, a lot will be unfolded about it in terms of publicity and reaching out to the populace and reaching out to government parastatals, local government chairmen, and all the rest of them. And let's see how this works out. It's a Nigerian company, and so it's indigenous, and it's one of the things that we should be applauding, knowing that a lot of Nigerians are working very, very hard. We don't need to tag ourselves dupes, 419 or whatever you have scam and all that. There are a lot of young Nigerians who are out there doing things that are positive that will help change the image of this country and also provide not just job, but also empowering the youth and letting them know that the future belongs to them. The
Yes,
future really belongs to them. And I think we should applaud you. We should say very big congratulations and wish you all the best as you go along this. We'll give you all our support that we can. I also talk to a lot of my colleagues to see what we can do for you. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm using it as a test run to do my show that I'm trying to bring back on air, No Holds Barred. After COVID, I'm trying to come back on air, so I'm using this as a test run for it. And I want to say thank you so much for finding time to join us. God bless you.
Thank you so much,
And everybody on Instagram, thank you so much for joining us. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.